Hello, welcome everybody on board today to Jetstreamers, a round-the-world podcast trip where I chat to your favourite streamers on each leg of the journey. It is Sunday, June the 18th already, 2023, and today we are departing from the ancient city of Samarkand in Uzbekistan, and we're heading to the stunning capital of Pakistan, Islamabad. And we're going to be flying over Tajikistan and Afghanistan, and we're going to be landing in Islamabad, which translates to City of Islam. There you go. A fact. You're going to learn something on here. You probably already knew anyway. In just a few moments, we'll dim the lights and get ready for takeoff. Buckle up and remember, in case of an emergency, you're in a metal tube being shot over the sky, so good luck. And you've just got a couple of streamers at the front. Our co-pilot today is a streamer who specialises in wholesome chaos and has an incredibly infectious personality, promoting inclusivity, acceptance, and love. They're also part of the UK and Ireland Twitch Pride campaign, alongside yours truly. Please welcome Warwick.
Yay!
How are you doing?
Myself.
Woo! Imagine it's like the Ryanair ride landing, and everyone's just there clapping at the back.
Woo! No, I'm doing pretty well. It's far too warm.
Oh, tell me about it. I just switched to this shirt and I'm regretting it already.
I felt like this is one of my favorite shirts. It's like really thin, and I was like also sort of as we're flying, but it's still I've still got two fans on me, and I'm just like, this heat is it's not fun.
No, it's horrible. I mean, I lived in Spain for 6 years, and the heat there is much more tolerable because people like the buildings are built for that weather.
Right?
Yeah.
But every time I say this, everyone's like, "Oh, you're just moaning again." Which, to be fair, yes, I am. We are British. We do moan about the weather. However,
yeah,
it's not fun. We're not built for this.
No.
And yes, we probably would be complaining if it was too cold.
Exactly. Yeah, that's
but
true.
No,
yeah.
Overall, I'm doing okay. How are you doing?
I'm doing really, really well. Yeah, I've just been playing some Sea of Thieves. So we're like going from a boat to a plane.
Doing like a triathlon, aren't you?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm gonna
triathlon.
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
Do a Tour de France game after this.
Cycling? Are there any cycling games?
Yeah, swimming. No, there's not flying in triathlon, is there? Never mind.
Yeah, get your bat wings out.
Well, anyway, I'm gonna go.
Well, let's go, and we're gonna go and raid some planes and steal their booty, or that might be a different game. I'm not sure. That might be getting confused with Sea of Thieves.
Hey,
ready for takeoff? Here we go. Takeoff. It's really. I feel sorry for anybody that listens to this like audio only. I'm just gonna. Yeah, I'm expertly going down the runway. Could not be better. I did a little test flight a few weeks ago, and started lifting up so the plane would go up before I was past the terminal speed that actually allows me to take off. So it kind of just bunny hopped down the end, and it eventually did get in the air. But yeah, it was quite surprising. But you're welcome. So I mean, first things first. How's your day been? Apart from warm.
It's not been too bad. I had a rare day off from work. I work a day job and I normally work weekends. So today was actually a rare day off, which has been quite nice. And it's gone far too quickly, as it always does.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Yeah, it's yeah. How often do you get time off?
I get 2 days off, so I stand 2 days. I work full time outside of streaming, and I work as a picture editor. So I edit pictures that mainly sport.
Oh, wow.
So when sport's happening, I edit pictures. But I tend to get a couple of days off. Not normally weekends, but this is my weekend off, which was quite nice.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, but back in tomorrow as usual. All the sport going on.
I bet. Yeah, same. What kind of sports? Like things? Is it just any sports or
basically anything? It's like major sports. Like obviously with UK, we've got football, soccer. A lot of people call it. You've got cricket going on at the moment. Rugby. What else is going on? Tennis. All the sports basically. We just cover it. We have photographers based around the UK and abroad who will follow games and stuff.
Yeah.
They will take pictures. They will send it electronically. Although, to be fair, if anyone's been to a football stadium and you try to use your phone, you have no signal. The photographers have the exact same issue. They're trying to send pictures on the internet and it just doesn't work. But when it does get to us eventually, at our offices, we edit the pictures. And we send them out and they get used by whoever uses them. So when you see like newspapers and websites with sport pictures, that's basically the pictures that I potentially worked on. Not just me, there are other people, but they're not here. So I take
So you take the credit, yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, I've actually got a really good friend who is like one of the official photographers, but I think it's like in-house, whatever, at Barcelona.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's weird because he started out in Sabadell, which I don't know if you know them. They're a team that like in the I think they're in the third division. There's a couple of pictures that he took of me while I was in the stands because I was like, hey, and he's now
Love that.
got a job permanently at. He goes like to all the away games. Like when Barca are kind of away in London next time, I'm gonna have to be like, come on, let's have a drink.
Oh, absolutely.
I taught him English.
Just get a ticket.
Very good friend.
Well, there we go. See, there we go. Just get a ticket. It's fine.
Yeah.
They owe you. It's fine.
What's your favourite sport then? What's your favourite one to do? Or
my favourite?
Yeah.
Oh. What's and I'm sure people relate to this. Like, if you work something so much, you get to a point where you're just sick of it.
Like streaming during the pandemic.
Yeah.
Oh, during lockdown. Yeah.
It's like, oh, it's the same ball again. It's been kicked by the same person. Oh, okay, cool, great, excellent. 20 pictures later, same thing. But I think my favourite sport is probably rugby. I just love playing it, or used to play it anyway. And it's I like doing it because we don't really get to photograph it as much as like soccer or other sports, where rugby is not as often, but when we do cover it, it's quite interesting, and I think it's a good sport. You know, it's just sort of especially when it's like really bad weather in the rugby, because like other sports like cricket, I don't understand cricket. Like, it's a very British game, and yet any type of rain just stops playing. And we're in a country where it will rain mostly, and it's like, did they not think about it? Same with tennis. Rugby, it doesn't matter whatever weather, they will just do what they want, whatever it is, and just go for it. But yeah, no, I really enjoy rugby.
That's right. My family are a big like cricketing family. Like my mum used to be married to an England cricketer, and it's very like, you know, Ryan Sidebottom. Yeah, my mum last saw him when he was about 6 months old because they were like all family friends. But yeah, they do. I think the reason that like they can stop with the rain is because they don't go home. They just go in the clubhouse and like drink, and that's about it really. And yes, his name is Ryan Sidebottom. Honestly, that is a strange. Sidebottom. Anyway. I'm actually. I mean, one of the reasons why I'm doing this at 4. I mean, because you suggested this time was perfect for you, but I was like, I'm not free after 6 because I am watching the Formula One. I love the F1, especially the Canadian Grand Prix.
Yeah,
which is,
same. So
one of my favorite tracks as well.
So if we both just suddenly just go right anyway, no, you know, it's getting close to the F1.
We've got the time wrong. Yeah, if we end up going off course and end up like on the way to India somewhere, like okay, no, we need to quickly just ditch it in the water.
It's like, we find that we're actually gone to Canada.
I love the Canadian Grand Prix because especially when it rains. Although yesterday kind of ruined the qualifying, but the race itself can be pretty good.
I'm not sure, but 100%. But wasn't there was it beavers or something chewed through the CCTV at the track?
Oh, I didn't hear that. I only tuned in
I thought it was over Friday or something.
That sounds right, because they have quite often have those like popping up on the track. Well, they did that time when it was like an 8-hour race, because it was the one that Jenson Button won on like the final lap. That like cemented F1 as one of my favorite sports. But yeah, they Q3 yesterday we tuned in for, and like the rain just got really heavy after like everybody had done one lap, so nobody improved, and it was like, well, 8 minutes to just sit around.
All right, no, so CCTV apparently failed, but apparently there might have been a rumor where like a beaver or something, or like an animal chewed through the wires or something. And I was like, yeah, that sounds like Canada completely.
Yeah. Oh, Ed asks, okay, but Warwick, who do you support in F1?
I don't really have a team. I just support the British drivers.
I'm
George
the same.
and Lewis. Like I enjoy watching it. I don't really have a alliance to anyone particularly, but I will support the British drivers if and when I can. And just again, I think with any sport, I just like, unfortunately with football, I'm a Southampton fan. I'm born and bred from there.
Where
Enough said about that.
Oh, don't worry, I'm Barnsley.
Where is that a serious question, or was that like a?
Oh no, where are they in the league? No.
Well, it's funny you asked, because we got relegated.
Oh,
we were
no,
like 20th out of 20th. Yeah, so we're in Championship next month. So
the dream of being in the Championship, being a Barnsley fan.
Well, to be fair, I do like Championship, but I could just be saying that because we're there. But but no, I'm always a fan of like, just with any league and stuff, or any like sport where not one or two teams just dominates every season, because it can get quite stale. Just the same person's won again. So I'm always wanting sort of the underdog, sort of just I think we like that as people. We like the underdogs. We always root for the underdogs because we want entertainment, don't we?
Yeah.
We don't just want to go, oh, the winner won again. Excellent. It's like good for them, but it's also just like good.
It's like I always support the British team in Europe, and I was like, I really wanted Man City to win the Champions League just because they haven't before.
Yeah.
And so weirdly, they were weirdly the underdogs for a second, but like now, I'm, you know, when it comes to the league, please, someone else. But
right.
Yeah. Oh, look at that sports. God, the amount of people in my community now just going like, well, I don't have any clue what's going on.
I have a rant every time I stream, because I'm just like, oh, work. But talk about people like, wait, what are you talking about? I'm like, don't worry, let me just rant for 5 minutes, then we'll move on. It's fine.
Yeah. Oh, well, you know, I mean, my main job is charity and streaming, so I hope I get bored of neither of them doing it. But we were flying from Uzbekistan over Tajikistan, Afghanistan, and into Pakistan. Have you ever been that part of the world?
Nowhere near.
No.
I think the furthest I've flown out is, I think, California. I think that's the first I've gone flying.
That is, I mean, that is really, really far.
It's quite far. Beautiful. I love that place. It's like it's really hot because I've been in Florida as well. So I've done like the Disney parks and sort of touristy stuff.
I want to do that one day.
I'm still paying for it now. It's
Physically
not cheap
or financially.
More monetarily, but with California, it's really hot, but it's like a dry heat, and again they've got the aircon and stuff, so it's just like I would take that heat any time of day.
Yeah.
Here again, sorry, I've gone back to it already.
Go for it. We are. This is the most British podcast you'll ever hear.
It's just like, come on, just give us like one day where it just cools down, where your things just refresh. Like, it's been trying to rain here, and we had some thunder this morning because it woke me up annoyingly. And I was like, oh, that's great. Like, opened the windows up, and it was just dry. It was just dry, like just nothing going on. I was like, come on, just give us a bit of rain, even a little bit, just so freshes stuff up. But no, I've obviously angered someone up there.
Yeah. No, I used to live, when I lived in Spain, like the first 2 years I lived in Zaragoza, which is directly between Barcelona and Madrid. And it's like you open the door on a really hot day and it's like opening the oven, but it's completely dry. Like you never sweat. It's a really weird, it'll be like 40 degrees plus and you're not that sweaty just because it's so dry. Like any moisture's just getting evaporated.
Same like places like California, like Florida is very, very, very humid. Like literally, you fly over there. If anyone's done it before, where you just leave the airport and it's hit by like a wall of heat, it's super humid. But also you got the aircon in the buildings. With California, yeah, it's really hot, like temperature wise, but it is like a dry heat. It's like it's got a nice breeze and it doesn't really feel it. Yeah, I would gladly go for that any time of day. Although I'd rather go for winter, but
yeah, winter's a nice one. I went to New York in the. It was like the last day of January or something. I think the Rockefeller Christmas tree was still up, and then the next day it wasn't.
I love that.
And it was snowing in Central Park, and it was.
Oh my god, that's like a dream, isn't it?
Really, really was. The sideways rain, no less so. Like it was so windy.
I mean, if you got the snow in New York, you know you got to take your rough with the smooth. So
it's true. It's true. Anyway, I'm just before we go into some questions, I'm trying to look exactly where we are because we're going over some mountains, and these mountains. It's really pretty, actually. Yeah, because the last when I was with Iona last time, we went over a desert and it was just completely flat. This mountain range is, I mean, we're getting. It's not okay. I don't know. It's the short answer. I'll admit I don't know the name of these mountains. The Zamin National Park is very close, but there are. I mean, we're getting close, kind of, to like Nepal and stuff. That is not too far away. So, yeah,
it's very pretty.
Really pretty. This game is absolutely stunning. Really pretty. But yeah, we are flying to Islamabad in Pakistan, Baltimore. But
yeah, just down the road.
Yeah, just. Although I used to teach some students from there, and I'm sure they pronounce it Islamabad. So I don't know if it's like. Sorry for butchering the pronunciation.
I'm not even going to attempt. I can't even say my own name right properly, but
no. How many people call you Warwick?
I don't know now because obviously, you know, it's Warwick.
Yeah.
Like in the UK, it's Warwick. Where that was one of the things I learned was when streaming, it was like, oh, it's Warwick. I'm like, sorry, what? It's like, yeah, it's Warwick. It's like, no, it's Warwick. It's like, but it's got a W in the middle. It's like, yes, but we don't pronounce it with the W. And I learned very quickly that outside of UK, I think it's pronounced as it's spelled, where here it's like a silent middle W. But now I don't register like I've heard both ways so many times. I don't register the differences anymore, and I think I even sometimes call myself Warwick or Warwick, and I just interchange because it's just like I don't mind.
Yeah.
Long you can call me what you want, like it's fine.
Yeah,
as long as you don't hurt my feelings too much, it's fine.
Yeah. Oh, I can. Yeah. Well, before they used to like not be able to capitalize your username, so my name, like multiple people used to call me Big Gus. Because they're like, oh, it's Big Gus. Oh, I still get the biggest Venus, but that's yeah, it's fine.
But I do very much appreciate the Monty Python reference.
Honestly, like I don't know why I had the brainwave when I was, because I was about 13 or 14 and I was just playing and I needed to, I think I'd just got a new Xbox and it needed like a username and I just watched Monty Python and I was like, oh, I got biggest Venice, and then like 20 years later it's still got it.
Stuck with it. I mean, fair play to you.
I'm quite happy. There are worse.
I've been through a few different names. Now it's just gone to my name because Warwick is my surname.
That's great that you get the name. That is really cool that you actually get your name. But yeah, no, like I mean, technically my name is a bit of a dick joke, and the CEO of the charity and the head of fundraising both follow me on Twitter. So I'm like, oh, that's
it's fine. It's all right. It's fine.
They hide me. Okay, well, let's start at the beginning. All about your streaming career. Why did you decide one day that you wanted to stream, and when did you start streaming?
It's a big question. So officially, my journey started October 2020. God, I hope that's right. Yeah, it's 2023. It'll be 3 years. Yes.
Wow.
Time is a weird thing. So I started officially October 2020. When I had like the setup and everything else going, I was like, this is what I want. But I actually started earlier in the year, probably about maybe like June. So probably around this time, 3 years ago.
Okay.
Like I dabbled in it because it was very much at the time, I think, we were in lockdown. I was on furlough, so I didn't have much to do.
Oh, it was great, wasn't it? I mean,
it was great for a little bit because obviously Animal Crossing came out around March. Was it March time? I think
it was late
February, March time.
I think it came out the very day that Boris sat there at his desk and said, "Right, there's a lockdown now." I'm pretty sure.
Sorry.
Sorry, no, yeah, you go.
No, I was just like, I'm sure, like Nintendo, just like they had a hand at hand because it's like the perfect timing for this game. They're like, oh yeah, this is happening. Oh, by the way, Animal Crossing's just come out. It's like the actual timing. But I remember losing myself in Animal Crossing for a while, and then I was like, okay, I've done that. What other games I've got? And then so I started playing Red Dead Redemption 2.
Classic.
Well, I say started. I played it before, and I played the game, went and played it through. And then I went back to it. I was like, you know what? Let's just try to just 100% this game, get all the achievements. Oh my goodness me!
How do you get those gold missions? Like I tried one,
I
couldn't do it.
I don't know. I have no idea. I did it. I'm not sure how. Do I regret it? I think so. Because like there's also you had to like track every animal, including like the specialist animals that only appear at certain points. You had to be mauled by a bear and survive and then kill them with a knife 18 times in a row.
What? Oh my, I couldn't
That's
do
one
that.
of the achievements. I'm pretty sure that's an achievement. There was one you had to pick up all the herbs as well and then have to make stuff. And like I said, you had to like gold all the missions and stuff. And I'm just like, I spent a few months doing that. And I was just like, why am I doing this to myself? Because I got the achievement. I was like, everything doesn't feel any different.
No,
I feel exactly the same.
I don't understand games that when you platinum it, it's trying to get you to hate the game, or it's like trying to get you completely sick of it. I feel like platinum is just to make you feel like you've completed and done everything in there. But being mauled by a bear 18 times and survive and kill it with a knife seems like
I really felt for oh god, what's his name? It's not John, Arthur. I really felt for Arthur because he's been through a lot and just thrown him into bears over and over. He's just going, what are you doing to me?
Did you play the original?
No, I went straight into the second one. I need to play the original. But also, when do you have time to play with these sort of games, you know?
Yeah, luckily the original is a lot faster than...
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's about, well, a lot shorter. I say a lot shorter. I think you can do it in about 20 hours.
Oh, okay, that's not bad.
Yeah, I mean, if you're on 100% the whole thing, maybe not.
I don't know. I don't want to start that again. But yeah, so I sort of dabbled in streaming sort of like around that sort of time. I finished Red Dead. And I was like, okay, And then there was like a major like shift in my life where in around February time I lost my dad. He had a heart attack, and so he passed very suddenly. I had no idea, just got a phone call one day and he was gone, which is interesting because it's Father's Day today and stuff. So it's like the timing, and so I found myself quite in a low place because obviously I was on furlough.
Yeah.
And I was trying to sort of, I think that's one of the reasons why I played Red Dead like to completion, because I wanted to occupy myself to take my mind off stuff and just focus on something else. And obviously we've been locked down and everything else. There was a lot of sort of feeling of loneliness and sort of not a bad moment, but just feeling like there was nothing. Things weren't great. You know, I was like, I could lose my job on furlough. I could still lose it, but there was no sport going on because, again, I work in the sport industry. There's no sport going on. There's no jobs. Yeah. And that was the worry with that. And then obviously losing my father. And then obviously just to time it with, there was a relationship that broke down as well because, you know, these things happen in threes.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, great, excellent. So I found myself sort of in a place where I just felt very, very isolated from a lot of people and alone. And it was just like, I wanted to sort of try to reach out to people in a way and stuff. I originally went with therapy to help me out with dealing with that sort of stuff. And then I think one day I just remembered, it was like, oh yeah, I think I signed up for a Twitch or something. I didn't know what it was. To be fair, I still don't understand what it is. Like I still go, wait, what is this? Like with this whole guest star, never used it. I got an invitation from you, Ben. I was like, wait, what?
I think every person that I've invited on guest star has never used it before, so it's
it makes me feel a bit better.
Usually takes about 20 minutes for people to get their head around.
Oh, good. That makes me feel good. But yes, and I was trying to think ways of connecting with people and stuff, and I was like, oh, I remember that like Twitch, like you could like have like talk to people there playing games and stuff, and one day. I just finished playing Resident Evil 3, the remake, and I really enjoyed it.
I like that.
And I was like, I really enjoyed it. Yeah. Like, I really enjoyed that game. Like, I know it gets a lot of hate, and I'm very much a Resi fan. I know it get games lots of hate. I never played the original, which is probably why I enjoy Resident Evil 3. Same. But I know that there's issues with it, so please don't hate me in chat, guys.
No, we're both anyone. The same there.
I prefer Resident Evil 2 remake to 3, but I enjoyed 3 anyway. Also, I like Jill anyway. So I played that game, and then I was like, oh, I'll watch someone play it because it'd be fun, and also chat with someone. And I remember them finding this channel just randomly, just looking over because I was like, what's going on here? And I was like, oh, that looks fine. And I went in, sort of said a hello. I was like, hi, I don't know what I'm doing. And someone greeted me. He's like, oh, don't worry about it. No one does. And just chatting with the streamer in chat while they're playing the game, and like became part of the community. And then from that, starting to sort of have my eyes open to other communities and what Twitch was all about, where it's very much like the chats and communities and going, wow, there's all these people who have been sort of dealing with similar stuff. Not so much like a bereavement and stuff, but more so just like isolation, because obviously I think around October, around that like 2020, that's where a lot of us were stuck inside, where we couldn't really do anything. So I think a lot of people found these communities that allowed us to connect with other people that we may not otherwise. And so I suddenly felt like a sense of belonging, a sense of validation, where I felt like I belonged somewhere, which was something that I lost with all the stuff going on. But I don't think I really felt for a long while before that. Like I always felt like there wasn't a connection with either like where I lived or people around me, where with Twitch, it's like I suddenly started connecting with people and feeling like a validation because they didn't know me from anyone, just by who I was in the chat. And it's suddenly like, it felt like I was connecting with people in a nice way, and it made me feel good. And from that, I was like, actually, I quite enjoy this, and I quite like that people play games or chat and just have these people pop in and talk and stuff, and I like that. And I was like, maybe I'll try it. So I outside of work, I also am like a photographer, and the camera that I use, which is this one here, it also takes like video and camera. So I was like, oh, maybe my camera works as a webcam.
It's an amazing camera, I gotta say.
It's really good. The only downside is I have to put it in manual focus, because the autofocus is terrible. It's so bad. It's like, what do we, it's not that bad. It's just, there's so much going on in my background. It's like, let's look at that shot. Let's look at that flag. I'm like, no, look at my face. My face is here. They're like, no, let's look at other stuff. I'm like, fine. So every time I have to load it up, I have to like zoom in on the lens, focus it, and then not move too far because I'm out of focus. But yeah, I was lucky with that, and I was like, I'll give it a go. And I remember, because in this room, it wasn't as fancy as it is now, but I sat on my sofa, had like the light from the window, and just had my camera on a tripod, had my little laptop, which just about held together with OBS. And I played Persona 5, because that's one of my favorite ever games. And I was like, I'll play a game that I really enjoy, and just try it and just stream and see if I enjoy it. Because thankfully I was lucky that I had a camera that I did. But even if I didn't, I would have gone just get like a basic camera, or even not a camera, because I had like a mic on my headphones, so I just used that. And I was like, just give it a go, just play a game, see what it goes. And then people sort of popped in, and obviously people from communities that I was a part of sort of supported me and came in.
That's
and was
the
like,
thing.
Hey, how's it going and stuff, which was really nice. Like people, like even today, people are wanting to support each other, not in a support for support way, but actually like a friendship where you actually genuinely want to see, they connect with you in a way that they want to see you succeed. And it was that community feeling, which still is there today, where they want to see you, like, if you want to do this, they go, yeah, let's go, let's support you in it. And that's what I found very quickly with streaming, was people are like supporting of doing it, which is really nice,
Yeah.
So I tried it out, and I was like, hey, I enjoy this. This is fun. Probably not on my sofa. And also, if you do get a digital SLR to stream with, get a dummy battery, because I learned very quickly that the batteries run out so quickly.
Yep, I got my dummy, because I got the 5100. I don't know if you.
Yeah.
About that one. Yeah, it's great, but that dummy, and the dummy battery I have to unplug it and plug it in about 5 times sometimes, because it's just like, no.
Oh yeah, I do as well, but it's better than having a battery. You plug it in and you go la 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 la, and then the camera dies. You don't know, like, oh, it didn't recorded like only like an hour or so.
Yeah.
But no, I really enjoyed that, and I was like, actually, this is quite fun. So that was around April, May time, I was sort of dabbling over, and then it took me about 4 months to figure out what I want, then figure out my setup for wanted, because I was very much like, right, if I want to do this, I want to do it as well as I can, because I'm very much someone who, if I enjoy something, I want to put all my effort into it. I don't want to half-ass it. Like before, it was like very much just, hey, there's no pressure, I just want to try it out. When now I was like, okay, I do want to do this. I want to make something of it. Let's do the best I can. So I took about 4 or 5 months trying to set up things. I had it in my bedroom. Like every day, I remember waking up, even if it was work or day off, any time I had any time off, I was fine-tuning the audio, fine-tuning how I wanted things to look like. I was looking into like overlays and alerts and everything. And I just kept like second guess myself every day, going, okay, this is the day I go live. No, it's not. No, it isn't. Okay, this day. And then finally it was like mid-October where I finally went live, and I was like, no, just do it. There's no pressure. There shouldn't be any pressure. This is just for something fun, just to connect with people. You want to have that connection. And I went live with Resident Evil 1 Remake, which is one of my all-time favorite games. And the rest is history, really.
Yeah.
But what one thing was that stopped me a lot, which I laugh now, is I was worried that people would be put off by me talking too much. Clearly, I don't understand Twitch.
It's the opposite, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so. But I was genuinely concerned that people would. I still think people don't understand me sometimes when I speak, because I do speak quite quickly, and sometimes, but I think people just sort of get the gist of it and go, okay, we get the gist of it, Warwick, that's fine. But I was genuinely concerned. I think why it put me off so long to officially start going was because I was like, oh, people don't want to hear me talk all the time, and I tend to talk a lot. No, people quite enjoy that. So like, interesting.
Being talking a lot is like, yeah, it's the perfect thing to do as a streamer. Perfect quality.
I've got it. I was on my. I got like my VODs from when I first started from like October 2020, and I start a game within like 4 minutes, 5 minutes, and now it's lucky if I start a game within 2 hours.
Wow!
And it's just like the transition from that, which is also where waffles or waffling came from, because we have like waffles, like channel points, and it's very much talk about waffles and stuff. But it's not because of the love of waffles. It's because someone asked, "Oh, do you?" I said, "Oh, sorry." I think I made a comment. It's like, "Oh, sorry if I'm waffling a lot." And someone was like, "What the hell's waffling?" I was like, "Oh, when you talk a lot." And literally stuck. So now it's all about waffles. Basically, I've got waffle channel points. I've got waffle emotes. I like waffles. I will say I love waffles very much. But yeah, it wasn't the case that I went in going, "Hey, I want to be talking about waffles." It was just, "Hey, waffling is talking a lot," and someone's like, "Oh, okay," and then it just stuck.
That's a great, yeah, I love that. Yeah, because I'm guessing it's like maybe in the US, and that is not a very common expression. Gotcha.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. I think it's very much no more like UK sort of thing. Like I say waffling, you know what that means. Where again, I think different places they go, "Oh, what's waffling mean in that context?" And yeah, just I love stuff like that where you don't intend for something to be a thing; it just happens that way. Yeah, it's really nice that now it's like I'm associated with waffles because I talk so much, which is it's a nice validation because I think it goes back to that point where I felt scared to stream because I talk too much, where now it's like waffles being a brand in the sense because it came from talking too much. That makes me feel good. That was like, okay, I don't have to worry about that. But again, we're warriors. We always worry. Especially streamers, we worry about everything and we will never stop.
mood. No mood.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for sharing that. That's like, yeah. Thank you for going into exactly why you stream and everything.
Well, like I always started as well on the basis that I would always be honest with myself and with others, because throughout my life I was very much grown up in the sense that you can't show emotion. You can't. You're male grown up. You can't show emotion. You can't cry. You can't. Sorry, my screen just went blank. You can't. You can't feel things. And I grew up believing that. I believe in that toxic like masculinity where because you're a man or society you can't have feelings, you can't feel things, you can't cry, you can't have any issues. And I grew up with that, not realizing the damage I was doing to myself until it basically came to a head with everything else that happened in 2020 where I realized, hey, actually I'm not doing okay. I'm actually not really doing okay. And where I finally like seek therapy from that. But that was my mission with stream, was like I want to sort of show people that it is okay, as cliche as it will sound, it is okay to not be okay. It's okay to show emotion. It's okay to be vulnerable. I grew up thinking being vulnerable was a sign of weakness, and I hate that I had that installed in me for so long in my life, because it's not. Knowing when you're struggling, not doing well, that is a sign of strength, because you're being honest with yourself and you're realizing that you may need help or whatever, or you're just understanding it. So to be vulnerable and be honest with that, that's the strength in itself. Don't lie to yourself, because you're only hurting yourself. And I know that. And I always wanted to stream to go, hey, I've been through it. I still struggle. I still have good days. I still have bad days. I'm not going to say, hey, it's going to be great, you're going to do amazing, because I don't know that. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. But I'm just going to say, hey, this is me. I will be honest. I have the worst poker face. So my chat does know if I'm not in a great mood or not, or if I'm not doing great.
Same.
So I'm like, I can't hide it. And like, Warwick, we know you're not doing great. I'm like, how did you know? It's like, Warwick, come on, it's you. I'm like, oh yeah, great. But that's what I want. I want to be vulnerable. I want to say, hey, I'm not doing so good. This is why, and everything else. And not to sort of put words in other people's mouths and stuff from my community, but I've got so many messages in the 2.5 years I've been streaming that people just say, it's so good to see someone be honest with themselves, because it makes them feel valid and accepted, that the feelings that they have for whatever reason, it's okay to have them. It's okay to not do something that you wanted to do the next day. Like, I know we go, next week I'm going to quit smoking, I'm going to go for a run, I'm going to do this, and you wake up, you don't do it for whatever reason, and then you make yourself feel worse for it. And it's learning about, that's fine, maybe that wasn't your day to do that, that's okay. Don't make yourself feel worse for it, because you already feel bad about it. Don't make yourself feel worse about it. Obviously easier said than done, and we all in our journeys and stuff, but I always wanted to be just say, hey, I've been through a lot. I'm still dealing with it. And if me being how I am and coming through it on the other side gives people strength to be themselves a bit more, then I've done what I've wanted to do. And that's why I've always been honest in what I've been through from the very beginning, because I wanted just to show people that you can go through the stuff, and it still may not be great, but it's okay, you know. And again, it is okay to not be okay, and you're doing great, you know. Even if you may not feel it, you are doing great.
So. I'm sure community really appreciates that, and that is why you have built such a great community. I was going to say, what's the story behind your username, but you said it before, didn't you?
Well, the thing is, it's now Warwick, because one of the great things about being partner is you can sort of request like names and stuff, because I originally started with Warwick 0. And Warwick 0, which is, it's not the number, it's Warwick 0 with the spelled as a word, so it's ZERO. And the reason for that, because Warwick was taken first of all, and I was like, all right, okay, what do I want? Do I want Warwick 0 with the number? I was like, no, I don't really. That doesn't really sound fun. And I was like, okay. I was like, maybe a letter, maybe it's like as a word. I was like, oh, that could be cool. And also, I was like, I'm a big Nine Inch Nails fan, so I was like, oh, the Year Zero album, I like that. Fuck it, Warwick 0, and that was it. That was it. And for the longest time, it's been Warwick 0 till a few months ago when I inadvertently changed it to Warwick just 5 minutes before stream.
Wow. Did you notice any differences? Because I know some people, when they change their username, no matter how popular whatever before, apparently it does affect.
Community-wise, it's an odd one, because one of my friends changed their name, and they're like, oh, I was like, how did you change it? Oh, you can go through Twitch partner and stuff, and you can request it, and if like the account's inactive, you can request that name. And I was like, oh, okay. So I had like 10 minutes before stream, like a stream, and I was like, oh, let's just request. And I didn't read what they said, but they went basically, yeah, we can do that now for you. Me thinking that the same now was start the process of it, as I mean, with Twitch, you
expect it's going to be a long time.
Oh, no, they did it there and then.
Wow.
So 5 minutes before stream, my name got changed from Warwick 0 to Warwick, and I went live, and people were like, Warwick, your channel says it's gone. And I was like, oh, I changed my name. It's because you go to Warwick 0, it says it's not there. So for the next, I think for the whole stream, I was just trying to troubleshoot all my links, because all my links changed, so everything was now just Warwick, and I was like, oh god, what have I done? I fixed it now, I think. But yeah, if you ever want to change your name, just be worried that it may happen at that same time, or just read what they put. I clearly did neither. But yeah, so it was Warwick 0 and then just now Warwick, because it's my surname, and I was like, actually, I've got a pretty cool surname, that would do. And but you say about obviously changing community. I've never played League of Legends. Apparently, there's a character called Warwick in League of Legends.
I've never played it either. No.
No.
I just knew it as a university town.
Yeah, it's a university town. There's loads of things Warwick, but main thing with like streaming is people go, "Oh, League of Legends." I was like, "No, I've never played it. I need to play it this year because it's one of the objective."
Yeah,
but what I find really funny is in my Discord. It's /Warwick, and we have a lot of people joining and leaving. And I was like, what's happening here? They're all League of Legends players, and they're thinking it's a Discord for Warwick, the League of Legends character. When they go, oh, this isn't what this is, and they leave.
Should have like a little like the holding cell or something like that I have, and just be like, do you like League of Legends? Yeah, okay, bye. Wrong one.
Wrong. Well, no, I don't want to say, hey, you can go if you don't like League of Legends, but I'm thinking may make like another channel just for those people who like League of Legends. Go, hey, we don't play it, but if you really want to talk about it, here's this one channel for you.
Yeah,
have at it.
Have you converted any League of Legends fans?
I don't think they've been honest about it. If they have, it's. I've not really noticed like a huge difference from when I changed it to before and stuff. I only changed it like a few months ago, so it wasn't like a massive difference that I noticed in the community and stuff, except for like people joining the Discord thinking it was a League of Legends Discord. So hey, maybe when I start playing League of Legends, that's when we'll hit it. The next goal.
Everyone's going to come in.
Although my chat keeps saying, don't get into League of Legends. Don't do it. Because apparently it's a great game until you start playing it and then you hate it.
Yeah, I've never got into it, luckily. I mean, I'm current, like the game that got me and has like really grabbed me is Marvel Snap. And I think just having that in my life is enough.
I know my limits with games, and I'm like, oh, if I play that, I will not stop.
Yeah. We've got a few comments in the chat, people saying that, yeah, I was in the stream where Warwick changed their name, and it's funny because they had to change their name for all the social, but Warwick was also, taken in other social media. Because, I saw your poll on Twitter, because that's Warwick Zero. Or was it Discord? No, it was Discord Warwick was
Discord,
taken.
yeah. Warwick's been taken, so it's still Warwick Zero in some places because Warwick isn't available in some places. So like Twitter, Warwick's been taken. I was surprised that I got Warwick with Twitch, because it was just, I'll just try, I'm sure it won't be available, because I'm guessing it'd be, especially with being the League of Legends character, I guess it'd be quite popular. But no, whoever had it never used it, so Twitch was like, yeah, have it now. I was like, all right, cool. Twitter and other places not so much, but Warwick Zero, you can find me most places somewhere.
I'm still waiting for I thought Elon was like getting rid of all the inactive accounts. There's the biggest Bennis on Twitter hasn't liked anything or done anything since 2010, and I'm like, come on, can we please maybe just get rid of them? They only made like 3 tweets as well.
I'm not like with Instagram, because I looked up for Warwick and was like, oh, it says the account's not available. So I tried to message to Instagram. You cannot contact Instagram for anything. Just literally, unless your account's been banned, you cannot contact Instagram. So I was just like, oh, well, come on, give me.
I have had, so my account got banned because I got hacked and they posted like pro ISIS stuff on my Facebook. And because it was linked to Instagram, they both got banned. And the only way I managed to get it back, because it's impossible to, they reviewed it and then said, no, it's now permanently banned. But luckily my work we have a contact at Meta, so I contacted them and they were able to help me. And it still got banned again after 30 days because they forgot to turn off the review check or something. So I had to go contact
Sounds
again.
about right.
So sorry. But once you get into contact with them, they're very, very kind, lovely people. But yeah, it's almost impossible because I think, well, actually now if you've got the verified status, I think you can speak to somebody directly, but you have to pay for it.
That's okay.
Because there is, but it's only if you're verified. And I don't know. With Instagram,
so I could pay for it for a month.
Yeah, you can contact them.
Speak to them, get my name changed, and then
there you go. You've got it.
Pay for support. Hey, you know what? That's fine.
Come here and get
that's the way we're going, unfortunately.
Yeah, honestly.
You want help? Give me money.
I'll name them. I had Shockbyte, Minecraft hosting, and there was an issue on the account, or it was charging me something extra and it wasn't giving me it. And I contacted them, and then they said, oh, if you want us to answer it quicker, you can, or more quickly, you can pay £2 to this ticket. And then after 7 days, they said, oh, it's closed because nobody was able to answer it in time, so your ticket has been closed. So I was like, what? Yeah, I moved away from them as soon as I could. I still have a Minecraft server, but it's on a different account now.
Yeah, I don't blame him. Don't blame you.
So just going into a few other guys, let me go, mate. I don't want to miss out a bunch of questions that people want to know. Do you have any advice for people starting out on Twitch now?
Yeah, I'm sure this is advice that people probably heard before in type of streaming. It's just don't go into streaming. This is anyway, Twitch or wherever you want to do it. Don't go into it wanting or expecting to make money. Because if you go into that mindset, you will struggle very quickly, because this is the industry to be making money. Also, don't eat yellow snow. That's a good advice, but not so much with streaming. Because I went into streaming very much like I was just wanted to do it. I wanted to connect with people without alone. I wanted to, again, as I said before, connect with people that showed that it is okay to not be okay. But I found myself a few months in getting to points where I was like, sort of like 20, 30 CCV, which I was like, this is incredible. Like, I've got like 30 plus people watching me. And I started to lose sight of why I was streaming. And I was like, oh, I'm making money. I'm making some sort of paycheck. Nothing to live off from, but I was making disposable income from something. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. And I started focusing a lot more on that and losing sense of why I was streaming in the first place. And it may not have been obvious, or maybe to some people, but I knew in myself, realizing that I was like, actually, why am I streaming? Am I doing it for the money, or am I doing it for what I was wanting to do it from before? And it was tough, and I got to a point where I sort of really burnt out, because I was focusing on the numbers. I was looking, going to streaming, and oh, we've not done quite as well as one day. It means this was a terrible stream. I didn't make as much money today. It means I'm terrible. And I got in quite a dark place quite quickly, because I think it can get to you, especially if you stream and you realize, hey, you got very popular very quickly. You go, wow, I wasn't expecting this. And then you start going, oh, wow, if this carries on how it's been going, we could hit partner or whatever. Because partner was always something that, like, hey, if we do it, great. It'd be like a sort of showing myself that, hey, I did something, I'm proud of myself. And that would sort of show that, hey, I put my mind to something and I did it. But as I sort of started thinking about that, my numbers sort of like stayed a little bit, sort of dipped, and I was like, oh, this is because of me. This is my fault. This is whatever. And realizing, actually, this is not a right mindset. So all I will say to people wanting to stream and stuff, just give yourself the time. Well, no, enjoy yourself. Don't go into it making money. If you make money from it, great, you know, because end day everyone would love to do this as a full-time thing. No, absolutely. But just go enjoy it. Don't put any pressure on yourself to be anywhere. Just make sure you want to do it because you want to do it, and don't focus on the numbers. Like, you know, I'm not saying all the time, don't completely focus, because sometimes you want to just see how you're doing, but don't make that the aim. Don't make that your focus. Don't make the money your focus. Just, if you're having fun, the community around you will be having fun, and they will gravitate to you because you're enjoying yourself. People want to watch people having fun. If you're not having fun, then it's not fun for anyone, you know?
Yeah.
So, and just don't pressure yourself. You know, everyone's journey is different. You know, I started 2.5 years ago, and for me, I think my journey has been quite quick compared to other people, but other people have been hitting their numbers a lot sooner. So everyone's journey is different, and that isn't a measure of your success or failure. You know, as long as you go, when you're streaming, after streaming, go, you know what, I had a good time, I had a fun time. I think that's the best thing, is you go leave a stream and go, I had a good stream. And I think if you keep having that, then everything should be fine. You know, if you're not enjoying it, then take a break, take longer break, do something different, but just look after yourself and just know that, just enjoy it. Basically, long word to say, just enjoy it.
Yeah. No, I 100% agree with you. Like back when I started in 2016, a long time ago, like affiliate wasn't even a thing, and apparently to be partner you needed 500 CCV. So it was like, I'm just doing, just do it for fun. And like sometimes you just have to remind yourself. What was your journey to partner then? Because you obviously you are partnered. Congratulations. And what was the journey there?
It was a tough one. It was an odd one, because again, when I started streaming, the focus, I didn't know what partner was. I didn't even know affiliate was, and I was just like, oh, let's just stream, and then we hit affiliate within like a week. So I was like, wow, this is amazing. God, I now got to think about emotes and stuff. Oh my God, and taxes.
That's an extra expense. Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah. What's really funny, and it makes me laugh. So I'm sure we all have, or I'm sure we spent quite a bit of money on either emotes or overlays and stuff like that and everything else. And I'm very proud of my emotes, and I've got a lot of emotes I really, really, really like. What's funny is the most popular one by far from my community, and I'm sure they're going to spam it anytime now.
Please do.
Is my face with 2 googly eyes on it. That cost me nothing, because it's my face with just googly eyes just superimposed on it, and it just spins. And that is by far everyone's favorite bloody emote.
There we go.
Yeah, there it is.
That is amazing.
Exactly, because it's just my face with a couple of googly eyes on it, and that's it. Spent nothing on it. I've got other emotes which I love, but I spent money on. But obviously, it's typical. It's Sod's law that you can spend, and I think that's a sort of metaphor for. Because I think someone said about, do you need like a face cam or stuff for stream and stuff, like you don't need anything. The only thing I would say is you need a mic, or at least a way to communicate with your chat. You know, if you can't communicate even through a chat, then it's very hard to build that relationship with them. But you don't need a camera, you don't need anything, you know, as long as you're yourself and stuff. But yeah, I think it's a metaphor as well, is that you don't need to spend hundreds or any type of money on equipment, on all this fancy stuff, because really, sometimes the most popular thing is your face with some googly eyes on it.
Yeah. There's that one there of me winking as well that gets used a fair bit.
And you're like, I spent like all this money on these emotes. I'm like, nah, I mean, they're fine, Warwick, but googly eye face, you know. Another one with me just sighing with just yeah. But yeah, so I think it's like a method where it's just like you don't need to spend all this money. I was very lucky that I had a camera that was able to record, because like I wouldn't be able to afford this camera if I was going to look out for something. But again, like I was using a laptop which was literally just about played Minecraft, and that was it. It broke with Minecraft weirdly, but it just played Minecraft, so I was like sort of capture card through with a PlayStation. I had a mic from my like a external mic on my camera and stuff I had before, so I didn't really have to spend much money. So it's very much like you don't need to have all this equipment to do all this stuff. And long as you enjoy yourself and having fun, and you can communicate in some way. Like I know there's some people who don't use a mic, but as long as you can communicate even through a chat and have that connection, then that's all you need. If you want more, then hey, you do you. That's absolutely fine, but you don't need it. You know, some of the best people out there may not have a camera, may not use it, or may have like a still image as a PNG or whatever, and doesn't have to spend so much money for it. You know. Yeah.
You build it up,
but yeah,
if you want to.
Yeah, it's just that face. It makes me laugh so much. I love it as well. It's just of course you like you can go, I'm gonna spend all this money. It's gonna be great, and you go, oh, all right, you like that one. Cool.
Yeah, that is amazing.
But no, with like my partner, sort of like it was again like it sort of didn't start with partner. It was very much like I just try it, hit affiliate. I was like, oh, actually, maybe partner would be a goal that I wanted to hit, to sort of prove to myself that I put my mind to something and I accomplished it. You know, I didn't see partners like saying like, oh, this is where I'm gonna get big time, but it would have been that like little tick next to my name, like, hey, you put your mind to something. You proved to yourself you did it, and you did it, and that was my motivation. Like, but like, it wasn't the sole motivation. It was very much like, if we hit it, great. But I'm having fun streaming. You know, there was that dark moment where I got a bit too much about numbers and money, and then took a time off and came back, and very much focused on the streaming side of things and connection with my community and realizing why I'm streaming. And with that, it sort of the streams just gradually sort of increased slightly with community members popping in, people. Other communities supporting me, raiding in, finding new people and stuff, and it just sort of just gradually happened. And then yeah, I think it was September, October last year when I got the email, which is quite funny because I don't know if anyone's tried to apply for partner. Like, did you get it the first time?
No, I did. Well, technically second. I did I remember once just like filled in a random form that someone sent me. I was like, oh, I wonder, and then no. But the next one, I think it was like average was 75 at the time, but then I think a month later it was still going up because of lockdown, and I got it.
But the first time I got like a generic one, like, oh, you know, we want to see how you do. Like I think they always say, oh, we've seen you do well, but we want to see that sustain. They don't want to see like it plateauing and stuff. So I got my first rejection. I was like, oh, that's fun. And I remember the second time, I think it was like after streaming, it's like 1 o'clock in the morning or something, and I was tired, and it came through. And I think I took it quite to heart when they first rejected me, because I was like, oh, because I didn't realize that hardly anyone got accepted the first time. So
I don't know anybody that does.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, fine. They don't want, all right, whatever. So I decided just literally because my first application, because you explain like why you want to be partner and everything else. And I sort of explain my history, like why I started. And basically what I said, like spoke to you about, I was very honest about why I started, what happened to my life and stuff. And they went, nah. I was like, well, all right. Wow, so I filled it in again, and I literally one sentence, and I wish I took a picture or screenshotted it, because I can't remember the exact word, but it was basically, I want partner because I deserve it. And I got it.
You got it.
Like 2 days later. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was just because it was sent like on a Thursday or Friday, and it was just before TwitchCon in America. So I don't know if the person looking at it was rushing out in the office who had to go to TwitchCon. Yeah. Oh yeah, just take it, whatever, doesn't matter.
Maybe like the cockiness. I mean, you see a lot of partners who've got the like cocky personality that works. What did you say you waited 2 days?
I got a reply within like 2 days. I genuinely think it was they didn't look at it. It was like TwitchCon happening because it was like 2 days before or something. They're like, oh, we're out at the office soon. Oh, let's just quickly when like I'll just mark it all. It's fine. Don't worry about it. So they probably just oh yeah, that's fine, and just sort of like left the office, not even looking at it. So I was at a bus stop.
Oh, yeah, really?
And got the email.
Okay,
so like oh. Because I was expecting, like, because it was so soon after I sent it, I was like, oh, surely this will be rejection again because it was literally just one sentence. Yeah. And they were, no, we accept it. I was like, wait, what? And I was looking around at the bus stop going, no one's going to know what this is. Yeah. Oh, damn it. I was like, why am I not on stream or home or something?
I got mine like 11 a.m. when I woke up. I was like, lie in, 11 a.m. Like, okay, yeah, things are changing. That was...
But yeah, that basically my journey, like, again, I'm proud that I've got a partner. I wish there was more incentives for it because they seem to be taking things away as the years go by, which is a shame. But I am still proud of it because it shows to me that I put my mind to something. I tried something new to me with streaming, and I had ups and downs from it. And I sort of, in the end, stayed true to myself to this day. And I was shown, hey, you are valid. Here's this, again, it doesn't make me, I still mess up with my streams. It doesn't mean that I'm accomplished in any way. I still have no idea what I'm doing most of the time, which is why I talk so much, because if I talk enough, then the stream ends and it's fine. I go, oh, run out of time. Sorry, guys. I still don't know how with commands. They all seem to be broken. But for me, it was just a bit of validation, just saying, hey, I put my mind to something and I accomplished it. I'm glad I got more emotes, and that's basically it.
Are you going to TwitchCon in Paris?
I haven't announced officially yet, but for anyone who's here, yes, I am officially going.
Look at this, exclusive.
Breaking news. Breaking news. I wasn't originally going to go, but I've been invited to speak on a panel actually.
Which one?
Self-care.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah. What's the link? I think I shared it with my.
I hope it's not the same time as mine. So.
Well, what's really annoying? It's the same time as the drag show. I'm like, really?
Oh no.
I think ours end like half an hour before theirs end, so I'm going to be hopefully end and run to the drag show. It is. I think it's on Saturday at 5.
I feel like they're trying to plan something one evening, like to go into a bar or something.
I want to do all that. I want to meet people because this will be my first con ever. Like, I've not been to TwitchCon at all. I've not really been to any sort of like meetups with other streamers and stuff.
TwitchCon last year was my first con, and it was incredible. And there's the partner party. The partner party is great because no one else is allowed in, just partners. So you kind of go in often on your own. You're like, I don't know anybody, but so many other people are in the same boat. And because it's full of streamers, loudmouths, kind of a lot of confident, cocky people just walk up and start chatting, and it was a great time, especially when there's free alcohol and free food. It's
but no, really cool. But yeah, so it's called Intro to Self-Care, looking after yourself and your community.
Thank you,
and so I got invited to it, so I was like, oh, I'm going because I love Paris. I used to go quite a lot before pandemic. I can't speak French. Unfortunately, I tried. It just, my brain just did not comprehend the language. It just about understands English. Even then I struggle. But I love the city. And so when they sort of said, and then I got invited to the panel, I was like, oh, very nice. So yeah. So I'm going to officially announce it on my stream Tuesday, but everyone who's here, you get the, well, to be fair, you can see if you go to the TwitchCon website, you can just search my name and I'm on there. So it's not like it's completely hidden. But yeah, it's So, but yeah, I definitely want to meet up with people and stuff. And,
I'll definitely see you there.
Yeah.
We're gonna just before we go on to some pride questions, because we're actually getting quite close now. How do you balance your day job and Twitch? From Dr. Ignatius.
I have no idea.
There we go.
I have no idea. Do not know. I have more energy than I've had before in my life. I don't know how. Coffee helps. Well, not really, because I drink so much of it, it doesn't have an effect on me. The serious question with that is, I'm lucky because I've worked many jobs. I mainly worked in retail, so I've been through it. I worked like NHS 111. I've done like Audis. I've done all different jobs. The job I'm in at the moment, because I've got a degree in photography. It sounds cool. It's not helped me in the slightest. You might think, hang on, but you work as picture editor. Yeah, my degree does not have any bearing on that job at all. I had to apply 3 times and they just applied me because there was no one else. This is all experience. But besides that, I'm glad that I got it, but it's not really helped me. But I'm very lucky that I've got a job that allows me to work from home. So I'm able to sort of be flexible in that, where like if I work in retail, I'll probably find it a lot more difficult because I'll be out the home, coming back in and stuff. So I know that I'm very lucky that I've got a job that I'm able to be like, this is like where I work as well when I work from home. So I'm able to sort of, when I clock off, I'm able to literally straight away get ready for stream. So I've got that time to bed without having to commute and stuff. But really for me, it's the enjoyment of streaming that allows me to balance it with work and streaming, which is why I think it's so important that you enjoy streaming or enjoy doing that part of things, because if you don't, it suddenly becomes really hard to try to find a time for it. Like, you know, I try to have a schedule, and most part it stays the same. I've off days, sometimes I've got to work late because it's bank holiday and stuff, or weekend I'm working really late because sport, like boxing, goes to like midnight, so sometimes I have to cover that. But like for me, like my job, which is, it sounds cool, it's very tough, but most jobs are, but just knowing that I enjoy streaming, that sort of motivates me to be able to do it and stuff. And you know, there was times when I would stream for like 7-8 hours after like a work shift, and then sleep for like 4 hours and then do the shift and stream again. It's not healthy. I don't recommend it. I look after myself a little bit more now. I'm still up to like, you know, sometimes 1 o'clock in the morning because that's how my brain works, editing videos. But I always like, oh, I don't start work till like 3 p.m. the next day. I can afford myself to step a little bit earlier or a little bit later, where if I'm starting to work in the morning, I go, right, I need to go to bed at this time. So I'm able to sort of balance like my self-care with sleeping. And really, yeah, I just say it's the enjoyment of streaming that powers me to be able to balance it. You know, I'm still able to go out and do things. I'm still able to sort of have a life outside of streaming and work. And that's because I enjoy streaming so much. If I didn't, if it felt like it was like work, it would be a lot more difficult. And there are some times when I do feel quite tired after a shift or after a long day, and you know, sometimes I have to take that time off. I'm very thankful to my community that they allow me, and I say allow me because it's not allow me because I can do what I want, but they give me that feeling that it's okay to take a break, because it's, as streamers, as content creators, it's so hard to take a break. If it's a day, if it's a week, if it's a month, it's so hard, because you feel like if you take any type of time off, you get forgotten about. And that feeling's always there. That feeling will always be there, I think, because that's how social media works and how the internet works. Is if you're not interacting or being present in one day, people will just move on. I'm thankful that I have a community that are supportive with me in that. Self-care is so important, because I started with that from the get-go. You know, I very much installed that, saying, hey, you know, self-care, all this is very important. And you know, it's easier said than done sometimes. So I'm thankful that my community is like, no, it's okay to take a day off. If you need to rest, go rest. So long story short, I don't know how I do it, but I think it's because of the love of streaming that I enjoy it so much that powers me to be able to balance it. If it's not something you enjoy, then it becomes very difficult.
Yeah, if it's enjoyable, it's like a hobby, so it kind of
exactly. And again, like I am lucky with my job that I don't have to commute. Like there is an office that I can go to, but I'm also I'm a humanoid as well. I've started saying that every time people raid in, it's like, oh, welcome in, I'm a humanoid. And I'm like, the more you say it, the more people will believe you, right?
Exactly, and you'll believe it yourself.
Exactly.
So just moving, because we're going down. We're not going down, as in like, don't worry, we're not plummeting to the earth. We are approaching Islamabad.
Oh, damn! Wow.
Look at this. It's getting really pretty. It's also getting cloudy, and I'm worried because I've never landed in cloud. Like I've always, I think the default is always, I don't know, for some reason it's always been clear skies, but we're actually getting cloud. So if there's any turbulence, please, you know, put your trays up and your overhead things, etc. Moving on to Pride, though, how does it feel to be part of Twitch UK and Ireland's Pride campaign this year?
Honestly, I have a lot of imposter syndrome, unfortunately, because this is my first official Pride month since coming out as non-binary. I came out non-binary, I think, technically in my time zone, it was July 1st, because I was streaming quite late and like around midnight on July 1st. And I was like, oh yeah, by the way, everyone, I'm non-binary. It wasn't like a spur of the moment thing. It was when I wanted to tell people, and it seemed like the right time to do it. So not only being part of Twitch Pride for this year, but also having it as my first Pride month as coming out as non-binary is something that is amazing. It makes me feel so valid. But also I have big imposter syndrome because I feel like, do I belong? I know I belong because my feelings are valid, but our brains be brains and stuff. And with what's amazing about Twitch is because of Twitch, because of the community, I found myself that I never knew existed. Like, again, with me starting, I was like very much wanted to start because I wanted to feel less alone. I never realized until streaming that there were more than just male and female, that there was that other feelings were valid. I didn't realize it because I grew up thinking, oh, there's either one way or this way, and that was it, because that's how society works. Suddenly, with streaming, I was introduced to these different communities and these different ways of thinking. I'm going, oh my God, suddenly things make a lot more sense. And I was just like, wait, where was this when I needed it, you know? Because I'm sure, like, we've always, like, for me anyway, I grew up, you know, always been teased, you know, sort of, you know, I went to all boys school. Don't recommend that, God. You know, ginger hair, glasses. It wasn't a good time. But like, you always get bullied and stuff, and you always feel like you don't fit in. But I could never understand why. I never understood. And there was always a way people like, oh, you know, people would always question my sexuality and stuff as I was growing up. And I was just like, was that just form bullying, or was that people like genuinely wondering and stuff? But you know, it's just, I didn't know what there was until streaming, until realizing that people identified in these different ways, and it opened up a huge world to me, and realizing, wow, suddenly things made a lot more sense. And yeah, like even like within like the first year or stuff, I started speaking to some friends who were non-binary and speaking to them at length, going, okay, like these feelings that I've got, you know, they suddenly make sense, you know. And it was like this with non-binary, it made sense to me. I felt like I've never really identified in one way or another, but I felt like I had to because of society. Where now it's something like this just makes so much sense. This just answers a lot of questions for me. I'm not saying labels are important, because sometimes labels aren't important, and labels may work for some people, may not others. It works for me. And again, it's not saying that this is where I will be forever, because it's a journey. It's a spectrum. It will change when, you know, think that's valid. You can go one way and you go, actually, this works for me. You know, you learn about yourself more. When I came out officially, because I was very scared, because I was very much, I grew up as a very masculine presenting person in a society that was very much, again, you can't have feelings. So it was very much hard for me to sort of be honest and say it. And when I did, it was like this relief washed over me. And it was just like the support from the community just going, fuck yeah. You know, they're like, hell yeah, this is great. And some people are like, yeah, we sort of knew. I think one of my mods, actually, it's been mod from the very beginning. It was actually they were the first person who said hi to me in the very first stream that I went in. So they've been with me through the whole journey, which is amazing.
Wow.
And I'm sure they're messaging the same, saying, we probably had an idea, which just made me laugh, because that made me feel great, because it's just like, oh, okay. They're like, yeah, we sort of knew anyway, but I'm glad you realized. I'm like, all right, well, it took me a while. All right, cheers.
I like when they know before you. It's like when I came out, I got my friends like, I knew since year 7. I was like, oh, could you have told me that?
Yeah, right. Just tell me about earlier. Would have been great.
Yeah, it saved a lot of trauma.
Yeah, and I know Twitch in itself has a lot of issues, as most platforms and most places do. But I'm so thankful to the community that I was able to sort of build from the beginning with my streaming and being honest with myself, because then they were being honest about themselves and realizing, hey, these things work for me, and realizing, and again, it was a long battle with myself, realizing, like, is this right? Does this work for me? I can say, hand on heart right now, you know, it's coming up to be almost a year now since coming out as non-binary, that it's just made a lot more sense, and I've never felt more valid and more myself than ever before. You know,
That's so good to hear.
It's just, yeah. So the fact is that Twitch invited me to be part of Pride this year. It was just like, wow.
Yeah.
Like, there's still times where imposter syndrome.
But chat says, yeah, Dr. Nash says, imposters know that they're fake. That's the difference. You're not.
Yeah, I know. And again, I say out loud, I know I'm valid. This is the reason why.
Yes.
And it's just, but no, I will just say to anyone, like, journeys will go wherever way. I will say it. I don't share the age that I am and stuff. But I would say I found out sort of my journey very late into my life. So if you're thinking, oh, I don't know who I am, that's okay.
Yeah.
Everyone's journey is different. You don't have to be this and this by this
age. It changes as well.
Absolutely. It doesn't make your journey any less valid to anyone else,
Yeah.
People are sometimes lucky that they find themselves before, but that's okay. Your journeys are different and it's still valid, and that's all right. And again, you may be in one journey, it may not be the same a couple weeks down the road, and that's okay,
Exactly. Just as we seem to be potentially landing in fog. I'm not sure. It looks a little bit hazy.
I see a lot of fog.
This is stunning. I gotta say,
nothing else.
We're landing kind of close to late sunset here, but we're very, very close. But just moving back, before I start having to take over this manually, what would you have to say to like an aspiring content creator who's worried about streaming because they're LGBTQIA+?
Try to have like a support network, either with friends, not having to be content creators, but like friends who can be around there with you, even like as mods or just there just to sort of watch your streams and stuff and just support you in that way. It's hard to sort of build a team from when you begin. Like, I don't think anyone has a mod team and has like a support network straight away. But if you are able to, you have friends near you or people you connect with, say, hey, I'm wanting to stream at some point. Would you want to support me in that in one way, to be there to help me out? Having that would help a lot. I think as well, just using the tools that are available to you, because while Twitch still has its issues, they have done a lot recently with shield mode and stuff, like the mod side, where you can protect yourself, where it's literally just like a one button and you click it and it protects you. And just your space is important to you. Don't let others dictate how you want your space. If you want a follower only mode, sub only mode, if you want a particular way of doing things, that is valid to you. That's fine. It doesn't mean that you're closing yourself off to anyone. You are okay doing that to protect your space. And I'll just say it's a scary world out there, especially recently. It seems quite horrible out there in the internet, interwebs and stuff. But just know there are people out there who are there supportive and are fighting for the rights that LGBTQI plus individuals deserve, and you aren't alone. It may seem that at times, but you aren't alone. There are people out there who are fighting with you and are there to support you, and just don't let others dictate what you want to do. If you want to do stream, if you want to do something, then go do it. Just make sure that you are protecting yourself as much as you can, and if not, reach out to people. I always say to myself, I always have my DMs open. So far, no one's been weird. Please don't be weird, obviously, everyone. But I have a DMs because I'm happy to be helpful to people if they need any advice and stuff. And I think a lot of people out there may sort of gatekeep certain information or certain things, where I'm always like, I will try to help where I can, especially support people if they want to stream or anything else like that, because it can be scary out there. But if we are open to support each other, then things can change and things can get better.
And do you, I really do agree with you there. Just because we're currently flying over the runway, unfortunately, it normally, there we go, finally, brilliant. It's got the little kind of flight path, the landing path, which is great, because then I can kind of like I can properly pay attention now. What onto games, because we do have a whole section of games, but I mean, I've had such a great chat about your like streaming career and
this is what happens. It's waffling. It's my brand. There we go.
No, it's great, because like, we haven't really spoken much before, and then being able to, and I could chat to you to Australia. Like we could be talking for ages. And I wouldn't even need to think of any more questions. What games are you playing now? So what are you, because you said you sometimes spend like 2 hours chatting or waffling before you start playing games, but what games are you playing?
Don't ask my chat what games I play, because they will not tell you. They will. I literally play anything. I'm very much a variety streamer. I'm very much like, I want to try what I want to try. if I had like a type of game, like a genre, it would probably be horror. I really enjoy horror games. This is one of my, like, Resident Evil is one of my favorite ever series, and I like, is that feeling of adrenaline, being scared, and being scared on camera, which for some reason I enjoy. I guess streamers to be weird like that. But really, I just try anything. I like, there are games out there. I try to do community, so we normally do like marbles every like Monday, because marbles, bit of chaos. Mondays aren't a great day for most people, so a bit of marble Monday chaos is always good. And then like I will just try games that I want to try, like Minecraft. We actually have at the moment something called Wheel of Games, where it's, I will recommend this to anyone. Just type in Wheel of Games on Google, you come up like a wheel. If you've got any games that you haven't played yet, and I'm sure people have got like a long list of games they haven't played, just make a wheel, put all the games on there, and just spin it. And wherever it lands, you play that game for like 20 minutes. I've had so many games gifted to me from the community. Again, I'm so appreciating. I'm like, I don't have the time to play all these games. So I'm like, right, put it all in a wheel. And like every Saturday, we just spin the wheel, and wherever it lands, we just play that game for like 20 minutes, like a taster. And then I go, right, will I play this again on stream, or I'll play it off stream, or never play it again? And I've been able to get through quite a lot of games and then make like a list. Like on yesterday, was it Sunday? Geez, I played Omori, and then Bullets Per Minute, Labyrinth, Melatonin, with like a rhythm, like chilled game, and it in silence. So it was a big old mixture of games. And then like I make a list of, oh, we'll play these again off stream or on stream. But it sort of very much shows that I will play pretty much anything. I'm happy to try out things for the first time, and just, I think it's, again, with my stream, especially varieties, like I think people in the community, they enjoy watching the streamer have fun. They may not know the game, may not enjoy the game, or may not, even care for the game, but they want to see the streamer having fun, and that's what's most important, which is why I think my community still watches me, because they're like, hey, you know what, I'm not a fan of this game, or whatever, or they may not be their game, but they enjoy watching me play it. Or with horror games, they enjoy people watching horror games. King of the Castle, great community game, absolutely great community game. But yeah, so really me, like there's so many different games that I've played. Marbles probably the most, because we have that like every Monday. That's like the one that sticks. Yeah. But outside of that, it's just whatever is out, and I just try out basically.
Sounds perfect. Speaking of horror games, have you played, like, my favorite is Alien Isolation?
I love Alien Isolation. I want to play that again, because that was one of the first games that I played on my stream. So I want to try it again. It was so good. I love Alien, and it was so good. And what I love about streaming is I tried playing Alien Isolation before streaming. I couldn't. Literally, I got to a point where the alien arrived, and I was like, no, I'm in a locker. That is it. I'm done with this game. Where streaming, it gives you that little bit of boost. Yeah. Because you're on camera, where you feel like, for me, I want to show off. I want to go, hey, to myself, hey, I can do this. Like with Outlast, I was like, I will never play that game in a million years. That looks too terrifying. Being chased in first person, I hate it. But I had a sub goal, because of course you go sub goal and you go, let's make it this goal, and you're like, yeah, we're not going to hit it. Oh, we hit it. Oh,
yeah. My horror games, I keep my horror games to charity streams. I'm like, okay, if you want me to be terrified, I'll do it, and while thanking you for $25 donations at the same time.
You know what? That's really smart actually. But yeah, it's just again, like, I think what people said in the chat, like, they may not want to play those games themselves, but they enjoy watching people play those games and stuff. And I think, again, I get scared very easily. I'm so susceptible to jump scares. It's like every time they get me, I will get jump scared. I get jump scared to non-jump scares. It's just, that's how I am. And it just seems to work really well with horror games. Yeah. But yeah, no, it's I think as long as the community or chat sees you having fun, I think that negates what any game you may be playing. Obviously, some people like, if you play like Minecraft, like, I'm not good at Minecraft. I only started playing Minecraft since streaming, like very late to Minecraft career, and I still don't understand it. Like, I played it the other month, where I think I spent like 3 hours in the game, and all I did was got some honey from a beehive, because I didn't know what I was doing. And but I had fun doing it, and people were like, you know what? Don't give me. And some people are just like, what's going on? It's like, what are you doing? It's like, it's fine. I'm just having fun,
Yeah, I love a bit of Minecraft. We're very, very close to landing.
Oh, wow.
Just very quick. What's your game of the year so far? Do you have a game of the year, or are there any games you're looking forward to coming out?
Game of the year. I would have to say Resident Evil 4 remake.
Okay.
Resident Evil 4 remake. I was very surprised about that game. Because I didn't think it really needed a remake. I rather wanted Code Veronica, but hopefully that will come in soon.
Yeah.
But when 4 came out, I was like, oh my god, it's so good. And I played it so much that I decided to start speed running it.
Nice.
I think I'm like 8th or 9th in the PlayStation 4 speed run for it or something.
That's impressive.
I think I might be low because fortunately I've now got a bug in my game, so I can't play it anymore, which is very frustrating.
Oh, no.
I don't think it's designed for PlayStation 4. I think I'm surprised it's even on there.
Yeah. We're about to land.
Oh,
hold on to your seats. I had to find the flaps. I pressed so many different buttons. I'm probably pressed one that I shouldn't have done. Wheels are still out though. That is positive. We'll hopefully make the bit we're meant to be landing on, but yeah, we're going to land about 100. Ooh, we're going to take out this thing. Oh, that was.
Oh, nice.
That was very close. It looks like I'm trying to land some kind of like giant airliner that's going to need about 2 miles to to brake. But we Ryanaired it. Yes. Oh, we did it. We made it. We've made it to Islamabad.
Yeah.
And what a stunning city as well. But while you were talking, as we were just like flying over the city about 15 minutes ago, I zoomed in on the Faisal Mosque, which is the most famous thing in Islamabad. But it's a very, very pretty mosque. Oh, well, I think everybody's teeth are currently like in the front of the chair in front. Do you have any, just while I taxi around a little bit, do you have any special events or any streams coming up?
Nothing special event stream wise. I'm actually at TwitchCon in a few weeks, which is scary to think about because it's coming up to July, and I'm like, where's this year gone? But stream wise, nothing really special. Like I'm streaming again on Tuesday with Marbles, because I'm working late tomorrow, unfortunately. Day job. But nothing really special stream wise. Just having fun on stream and just doing what we do. There might be some like charity stuff happening in July, but I've not confirmed it yet.
Very nice.
But yeah, no, just having fun, really.
That's all that matters. Yeah, that's the best plan.
Yeah.
It's the best plan to have. And well, yeah, do you want to tell everybody where can we all find you and when do you stream? What are you up? Yeah, tell us about you.
I'm everywhere. I'm behind everyone. I'm in your house right now. I'm sorry. I'm not in your house. You can find me in Warwick on Twitch, twitch.tv/Warwick. I'm Warwick or Warwick Zero in most other places. I'm on YouTube as Warwick Zero. I do a lot of videos on there. I find that because I don't play games often on stream, YouTube's great to be able to record stuff and edit it and put it on there because I won't play games otherwise. Twitter, Instagram, Fanhouse, Patreon, Twitch. I said Twitch. That was the first one. And yeah, you find me everywhere. I'm around.
Yeah. Brilliant. Well, do you have like a link tree or something? Because there, I just
yes, I do have a link tree. I do have a link tree. I
spent ages trying to work out what it was. It took me forever.
Links.warwick0.
What a great idea.
That should work.
For those listening on the podcast, that's links.warwick0 with a zero.com if you want to go and check and follow them on all their different platforms. But Warwick, thank you so much for this. This is just I nearly intentional pun coming up. It flew by.
Honestly, I was going to say like, I
just love that we've just had we've got super glitch now. I can't hear, and you've frozen. What perfect timing for it to freeze.
That's it. I've given that. How him?
What on earth? Is it me? No, it doesn't. I don't know. But what perfect timing. Well, Warwick, thank you so much for joining. We can hear you a little bit. Like a little bit like a robot. Yeah.
How odd.
Yeah, you've just become a robot. That's... I mean, I'm so glad that happened and not mid-flight. This is the perfect time. But
I've literally just left. I've landed off.
You're out. You're running. You're already, collecting your bag. I will tell you what, I will stop the guests are now there. Thank you so much again for it. And I'll chat to you afterwards as well. So thank you so much.
No, thank you. Bye-bye.
Perfect. Brilliant. Well, thank you so much to Warwick for joining. And for those of you, I'll keep the stream up for just a couple more minutes, but for those of you listening on the podcast or watching this on YouTube, go to jetstreamers.fm. I was about to say F1 then because I saw a message about F1 in the chat. So jetstreamers.fm. We've got loads of other, this will be up tonight, or actually perhaps tomorrow morning. And we've got loads of other ones there. We've got Yona's on there, Justin Nick, who's now Justin Plus. We've got Money Does Stuff. Lots and lots of people. Devon Bumpkin, because we did set off from Cardiff back in 2020, and we're here in Islamabad. And the next time will be next Sunday. So we do have another, and it's another Twitch UK and Ireland Pride streamer, Ebonix. Ebonix is going to be joining next week, and we're going to be flying to New Delhi. So it's a slightly longer flight, but I want to do two capitals. So yeah, we're going to New Delhi from Islamabad next Sunday with Ebonix, and that will be a little bit earlier. So stay tuned and have a look. Well, go and check out on the socials. I'll post everything there when it is. But if you go to jetstreamers.com.fm, honestly, like my brain's mush. How long have I been streaming today? 6.5 hours. That explains why. But yeah, it will be uploaded if you're not able to catch it live. But yeah, next Sunday, with Ebonix. And Warwick, thank you so much again for joining for this. And please go and make sure that you give them a follow. I mean, after that conversation, if you're not sold of being like just inserting yourself in their community immediately, then I'll be very surprised. So thank you very much for listening on the podcast and for watching on YouTube. See you folks next week.